All right, all right, we are now live on Instagram as well.
All right, guys.
Guys, how are y'all? It's Mark.
And it's Michelle.
And this is Mark and Michelle.
And we've had a rough couple days.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that because I think you guys need to know. This is going to be important for everybody, not just those of you who have autism or who are healing it in your kids. Want to start with the cows?
Well, so first of all, Mark has progressively gotten worse in his leg cramps.
Mm-hmm.
He started having sleep apnea, and we're like, why?
Mm-hmm.
And Mark got really bad. Hi, Diablo Cat. Mark got really bad Saturday. We were having a great conversation, and he just started going down, down, down,
down.
Yeah. And you want to talk about that? Describe it.
Well, we were just talking about our past life, I should say, and how we came to certain beliefs and habits and behaviors. Hey, Marlo.
Your teeth should not get worse.
No.
He says if hi, Diablo Cat, it's Katie Newell. I knew you. Okay, so never forget, and I know you too, don't I? And then AKA 5SOS, I know you. You guys have your silly names, and these are all high school. Am I on the wrong page? Am I on Michelle Hedges instead of Heal Your Autism?
We're trying to figure something out, guys.
Tell Marlo, I'm going to close out. If you guys want to see me, go to Heal Your Autism.
Yeah, Marlo, no, things should not get worse. I don't know what you were going to say about he says.
Okay, so what I was going to say is, he says, if your teeth get worse, you need to tell me what is going on with your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
He said it's stuff that was already going to happen.
I imagine that she's clearing viruses out of her teeth, just like we
very interesting, totally off topic. I really need to get on here, though. I had a tooth right here, and I have really bad lower teeth. They're crooked and ugly. So this tooth was really painful, and the dentist said there's nothing wrong. And now I have teeth on this side that hurt, and this one doesn't hurt anymore. And I've been working on Golden Seal. But what about your teeth, Marlo? I've been working with Golden Seal, and this tooth no longer hurts. So I am thinking that the virus is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And this is shingles. When you get it here, if you're getting migraines and TMJ, it's shingles. And I've had TMJ since 1997 so bad that I had to have a dentist make a guard for me. What kind of pain, Marlo? Is it just one tooth or all your teeth? This is what I'm talking about right now. You probably have shingles, and you're killing it, and it makes the neurotoxin,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. The HMDS smoothie kills viruses, bacteria, and detoxes heavy metals. And so you're killing off certain viruses.
Yeah. Do you have TMJ, Marlo? Anyway, I had it so bad by the time I was 27, I had to have a dentist make me a guard.
Mm-hmm.
And I have just said, Marlo, that's shingles.
Yeah. It's
not your teeth.
Right.
Now, what I have found that helps, which medical medium would not say to do this, but taking Claritin or Allegra helps that pain.
Mm-hmm.
Because aspirin and ibuprofen never touched it for me. I don't know why. I really need to get on here. What am I doing?
Live.
Okay, so here's Marlo is still talking about her teeth. Okay, you got it now? Because I don't know what the question marks are for.
Okay, we're live on the right page on Instagram.
Okay, so Marlo, send me a message if you have extra questions. So we were talking about Mark's experience with
right, and so we were talking about our life, our past, and how life had been difficult. It's difficult for everybody, and so as we were talking, we've been talking for a few hours. I noticed that I stopped concentrating. I was getting more confused. That's also a symptom of low calcium, hypocalcemia. And
hi, Nicole. We were late on Instagram, so we've started.
And right. So anyway, we were talking about that stuff, and I got confused and angry and irritable. Irritable is also a symptom of hypocalcemia. Now, we didn't know what was going on, and so all day I was angry and irritable and difficult to deal with, and Michelle didn't know what the problem was. We thought, well, maybe we got hit by energy or something, right? Tried that. It didn't seem to change it. And then later on in the afternoon, she's like, look, let's go to the emergency room. I'm like, I'm not going to the emergency room.
Yeah, because he couldn't breathe. He was having all the
sleep apnea. I'd been having that for about a week. And so every time I tried to go to sleep, I'd stop breathing and wake back up and couldn't figure out why. And so my mood had been down for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And tried everything for that, and it didn't completely fix it. And even what we thought was strep.
Yeah.
And so handled the strep. That helped.
Yeah, it did help.
Good, almost entirely, but not entirely. And so we had gone on.
Hi, Roxy. We see you this time.
And fortunately, you can see us this time. So, hi.
What are you talking about?
So Michelle finally was in there in the bedroom, sitting here, recliner, thinking and thinking. Finally, it hit her. She thought it was low calcium and needed greens. Can't say anything, bro.
Yeah, so it hit me that we had run out of calcium a couple weeks ago, and I was being stingy because we don't have any money. And it turns out Mark needs calcium. So I went out and went to Sprouts and grabbed some calcium and tons of salad.
Yeah. And so she came home and made a salad, and I improved in about an hour immediately.
It was amazing. Yeah. Guys, do not be stingy on calcium. Calcium and magnesium.
And so that was a big deal for us because I use my muscles a lot, and you have to have calcium for muscle contraction and relaxation. That is a requirement.
Well, that, and then all the neurotransmitters that weren't getting any juice.
And so between those,
well, he hadn't been having any leafy greens at all.
Yeah, spinach when I remembered it, but that was about it. So, and apparently spinach doesn't do it. So anyway, so we finally figured that out. Calcium is important when you're doing anything, but it's also important. You deplete it quickly when you do any kind of physical activity.
Well, and oranges have lots of calcium in them, and Mark has lots of oranges.
But that wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. No. He needs supplementation. And so you guys with ASPI or autistic kids, if you're seeing strange behaviors, up that calcium and see what happens. Know what the upper limit is for your age group.
And so it helped
Look how beautiful he looks.
Yeah, you're photogenic there, man. And but anyway, so that's something we wanted to relay to you. Do you want to continue on with what else?
Oh, well, so, but in all of this, Mark seems to have come on a little more too. So some waking up occurred, and we had to adjust to that. So do you want to talk to that?
No, you go ahead and start so I know where you're at.
Okay, so you said you felt like you weren't getting to do enough of what you wanted to do.
Yes, and well, oh, I see, personality-wise.
Yeah, personality uptick.
She and I have different ways we live our life, and we always have. And it is diverging a little bit more.
But Mark's is changing.
Yes, it's diverging a little bit more. I am a visual person, so I need to watch stuff. That's why I watch a little bit of TV and this kind of stuff. Well, Michelle, because she is very emotionally receptive to things, doesn't watch TV hardly at all unless it's a benign show like a lot of British stuff that we watch.
British comedies.
And they're not exaggeratedly overacting. like a lot of American stuff is. And so
I don't have to feel a lot of emotion because I've already got my own.
Yeah,
I have so much, so much. Oh my goodness.
I know. And so, so when we're home together, it has to be music or nothing, because that that changes her. And so I don't watch stuff when we're home together because that interferes with her trying to maintain her energy and her sanity. And
well, and what you guys don't know is I'm also a medium, and I get people bothering me on both sides of the world.
Both sides of the veil. Yeah.
Both sides.
Right. And so that being the problem, being such a problem for her, it makes it difficult for me to see TV. And this house is not a big house.
It's not a big house. We live in a very, very, very small house.
It's 900 square feet.
It might be a little more.
960.
Yeah.
And but we've lived in much bigger places, you know. So as I continue to heal, I find that more of my personality is coming up, which causes friction. You've heard us talk about this. Causes friction between us. And then we finally figure out what it is, and we work through it, and we go on about our lives, you know.
And then the next one comes.
Yeah, and then the next one.
There's always a next one.
Right. There's always another emotional change or personality change tsunami, and then we get through it. But
so yesterday was pretty rough.
It was. So
Saturday was pretty rough.
It was Saturday, and so I was down here in this room watching TV. While Michelle was in the other room on the other end of the house.
Opposite end of the house.
Right.
Reading.
About 30 feet away, probably. And so.
He's needy today.
Yeah, he is needy. Come here, man.
You're going to have to hold him.
I am. And so I was down here, but that upset her. And so she thought I didn't want to be with her. And that wasn't the case. I do.
It's just new Mark.
But you know,
just have to figure
sometimes
it out.
I have to do what I want to do. Now I'm starting to understand why NTs do what they want to do. It's because they feel it so strongly they can't ignore it and they have to do it. And I'm getting to that point now. And while I like helping people on Heal Your Autism and seeing all the success stories, I'm finding that IT is a big deal for me and something that I definitely want to do. So between that and this, you know, I'll wind up being a much happier person. But I'm finding that my own personality is coming out in ways that I cannot ignore.
Yeah. So we have to navigate that.
And, you know, and I say ignore. I won't necessarily say that I ignored my personality as an autistic person, but what I couldn't do was act on it. I couldn't be. It wasn't strong enough at all. My personality was not strong enough at all as an autistic person to be motivated by it. Now it is, and I imagine it'll just become that way more so. And Michelle shared an article with me the other day called "Intense Personality." We are both intense personalities, and
I knew Strat.
And that can be intimidating to many people. And okay, there you go. And that isn't going to end it.
I don't know what is going on.
What's up, mister? Huh? Come here. Oh, all right. Had to hug the cat again. So he's annoyed because he's not getting hugged more. But anyway, so we're finding that as I heal, we have to change. But you know, the only constant is change. You can hide from change all you want, but it's still going to happen. And you can go live in a cave, but when you come out, you won't be relevant. because, and that's the thing, living in a cave, you're not relevant anyway. So when you come out of a cave and you're not relevant, what do? You learn to be that way. And for me, autism was a cave. And for many people it is. I won't say all. But autism is a cave. And if you hide in a cave, and if that cave is all you know, then you cannot make accurate pronouncements on the world or about anyone else because you've lived in a cave your whole life. And autism itself isn't just the only cave. I would say chronic illness is a cave because it keeps you from interacting with others. And yes,
the cat's noticed
the cat,
a change
yes,
too, Marlo says.
Yeah, he's right. And so, so chronic illness is as much of a cave as autism. So what I'm really basically saying is autism is an illness. And because if kids can heal from it and an adult can heal from it, and what I mean by heal from it is this: if you no longer have the symptoms at all of autism, you must not have autism anymore, right? So if that's the case, you can heal from it, right? And if you can heal from it, then that just means it's an illness. That's all logical, right? So anyway, don't live in a cave any longer. Heal from your chronic illness, no matter what it is, right? So that you can get out and enjoy your life and live
and be relevant.
And be relevant. So anyway, well, inclusion is important, but if you're included in a group that you can't effectively operate in, that you can't effectively relate to, then inclusion is not inclusion. It's actually exclusion because people wind up seeing that you can't interact well, and they don't interact with you. How do I know? Because it happened to me. And I was very aware of it happening to me. In fact, most people with autism are aware when people find out that they're autistic. Now, I get the inclusion part, but if you don't know how to work in the group that you get included into, you might as well not be a part of the group. I'm not saying be excluded. And the NT, sure, they can make their way halfway. They can meet halfway. But I wouldn't say that as an autistic person, I even knew what meeting someone halfway meant or how to do it. And believe me, I examined every angle of my autism to try to figure that out. So I can agree with the inclusion, but there's going to be a lot of work on the NT's part, and there's going to be a lot of work on the autistic person's part. Not blaming. Don't blame the NTs. Forget that. But try to work with the NTs. All right.
It's really all on the NT. When I figured out Mark was autistic, when we figured it out, I realized how much I was actually doing to keep us together.
Yeah.
And I realized how much he could not do.
Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't give up.
No.
So I would say that was something I was doing to keep us together.
Communication was all on me.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, communication. Yeah. And effective communication.
So how to help the autistic? You have to teach NTs. Mm-hmm. You have to teach NTs how to be with autistic people. Autistic people cannot conform. They cannot. It's impossible.
Mm-hmm. And it's
completely impossible.
But me, that's why I say heal.
Heal. That's right. Heal.
That is the biggest way to do it. Marlo, you've seen the healing in your own kids.
Yeah.
Right? Keep going, and then you won't have to worry about how to teach other NTs to help you how to interact with your kids. All right.
Hi, Jasmina.
Jasmina.
Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about was your experience on Facebook today with the preacher woman.
Oh, very interesting.
Yes.
I am friends with a woman who is a pastor here in OKC.
Oklahoma City, for those who don't know.
Now, I haven't met her, but I have a lot of mutual friends who are friends of hers as well. Well,
we're going to go long today, just so you know.
She posted something about post your dream here and we'll support you. Okay, all right. And a bunch of people did. And I said, I want to show people how to heal their kids from autism because I did just that thing for myself. Well, and so by doing that, Marlo, that is a great attitude. Marlo said, school districts won't do it. It's too much work.
It is too much work. It is a lot of work. I could teach people how to how to interact with autistic people. I could teach it, but nobody wants to do it. It's hard.
Yeah, it's much work. And most people don't want to do lots and lots of work. They want to do just enough to get by. That's how the world is appearing to
Which
me.
is about Mark's he's about to talk about.
Yeah. And so I posted under her post, post your dreams and we'll support you. I posted my dream of helping people heal their kids from autism, because I did that for myself. And I noticed this morning, that my comment had been deleted. I thought, okay.
Yeah.
She supported everyone else.
She didn't support Mark.
But I wrote to her, I said, look, my apologies if my comment caused controversy, but that's what I do. And she said, well, I got more than a few messages about it, and to keep it from derailing the post, I decided to delete the comment.
So there you have it, people.
And I thought, okay, well, I said, I appreciate where you're coming from. I said, I am almost used to the controversy and the hate mail that I get. But I said, if you want to find out more about it, here's our Facebook page and whatever. And I probably won't hear back from her, and I'm okay with that. Because
that sent Mark into a tirade of how people don't learn their lessons.
Well, yeah, that, and if it's controversial, I won't support it. That's basically what that person is saying. And if it causes me any grief, I'm going to back away from supporting. So there's no integrity if it's too uncomfortable, right? So you know what? I'm going to keep telling people you can heal your kids. And when it's appropriate, I'm going to tell adults who want to hear it, hey, if you have autism and you don't want it, and I have talked with some who do not want their autism and want out. So it's not like I owe anything to autism or autistic people or anything else. My autism was my business. In fact, I told a lady that recently. She said, well, I'm sorry, she said, that you got conditioned to hate your autism in your brain. I said, you know what? I conditioned myself to hate my autism in my brain. But I said, thank you for your polite reply. She deleted her comment. Now, that's the issue. If you don't want to do the work, then don't. But don't complain to me that because I'm making you uncomfortable. That's for losers. You choose to lose if you choose to blame somebody else. All right. All right. What else did we want to talk about?
You were talking about the people not learning lessons.
People not learning lessons. The reason things that come to you in life, at least this is how she and I believe, but this is how we've gotten so far in every area of our life.
Yes.
Is that when things come to us, we go, is this a lesson for me? And if it is a lesson for me, then we work on it.
Yeah.
And we figure out how to learn our lesson. Health Michelle said last night, health is everything.
It is. It's absolutely everything. If you can't get your health in order, you can't have any other part of your life.
Exactly.
Because just now I'm starting to get a life.
This very subject is what we were discussing on Saturday, when my health
when he started going down.
Mm-hmm. And
all right, Roxy, we're there for you.
Well, Roxy, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So here's a little more motivation for you. You can easily do this, right? Sure, it takes some work, but what else in life doesn't? I've seen too many people do see, I remember people telling me in high school.
When he was an
college,
autistic person.
Yeah, you're just lazy. You're not doing the work. You're not and I was trying hard to do the work. But I didn't know what I wasn't doing. And
right.
So to find out at 44 that I had autism, all of a sudden everything made sense the more I read about it.
Yeah.
Right? So now here I am, healed from autism, yet people want to say you never had autism. Now, I got a professional diagnosis. What did you get? Right? So Roxy, if you're feeling better every day, then you're doing the work.
Yeah. I mean, there's back sets.
There's gonna be setbacks. But
I said that backwards.
That's all right. But you said it backwards, so everybody's like, oh, back sets. Oh, she means setback. They're gonna remember that. And see, that was a lesson we needed to learn. Sometimes you say things backwards, so people will go, ooh, So, but Roxy, this is for you. You're super motivated. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Because unmotivated people don't go looking to solve their problems.
Exactly.
And so, to me, autism isn't a problem to be solved. I hear from these autistic hosts, yeah, then don't ever complain. Don't ever complain about how life is mistreating you because you're autistic. Don't ever complain, not in my hearing, because I will peel that onion back from you and we'll get down to the core of what your problem is. And I'll guarantee you it's your autism. Because I actually unfriended someone who told me, well, you make it sound like it's a cold. What cold do you know? In fact, I don't even know of deadly diseases that last 4.5 years. I mean, maybe cancer, but you can't tell me that any cold you've ever had has taken 6 years to get rid of. So don't bullshit me with that. Because you're full of bull if you believe that. And yet this same person is continuing to have health problems that's worsening and worsening and worsening and worsening and getting worse. So I'm just like, really? Do you just not see it? You just don't see that it's all ill health. So don't try to heal any of your other health problems, because if you do, you're going to lose your autism as well.
Nicole has a comment over here.
Getting hot in here. Love your pet. Well, you know what? Maybe that's what you guys need to see more often.
This is who I see all the time.
Well, maybe I can express it better in lives and you don't have to deal with it so much.
I'll let you guys deal with
Right?
it. Okay, so Roxy says, it's my little son, and yes, we're seeing improvements. It is a journey.
It is a journey. But the thing is...
Oh, wow. Marlo says, so true. I was diagnosed with the flu for 3 years. That is EBV.
Right? Flu is a virus.
It's a virus.
EBV is a virus, but the flu...
They misdiagnosed you, obviously.
The flu virus lasts for 2 weeks at the most.
Yeah.
Because I've had flu a couple times in my life. And I remember the one time I had flu, this was the late 80s. I was laying on my bed, shaking and shivering, and I'm sure I had a fever well over 100. So that just... so I know what the flu is like.
I'm battling multiple sclerosis, which is EBV. I don't know if you know that. And now my son was diagnosed with autism. Lanita, all you have to do, you're very sick, but you're going to have to start with celery juice. Very, very small. Marlo, tell her how small to start, because Marlo has Hashimoto's, and she had really intense detox reactions to drinking 16 ounces of celery juice. So, Lanita, start with celery juice, but just use like 1/4 of a stalk to start with.
Yes. And Lanita, so you know, here's how I know multiple sclerosis is viral. Because in December 2004, a neurologist friend of ours, and I told this story on a very recent live, a neurologist friend of ours, we had just been to her office a week or so before, she called me and she said, you need to go to the emergency room at such and such hospital. We lived in Atlanta, Georgia at this point. She said, I have a lumbar puncture scheduled for you because I think you are in the beginning stages of MS. So I get there, they start the lumbar puncture, and as they're starting it, I asked the doctors, or whoever it was, I said, so what are you guys looking for when you do a lumbar puncture and you take spinal fluid out? And they said, we're looking for a virus that tells that you have multiple sclerosis.
A virus.
A virus. All right? So it's viral, you're right. And Michelle is right. That celery juice, there's a friend of mine at work, another friend of mine who's doing the celery juice. One friend of mine at work cleared up her horrible eczema with celery juice in 2 months.
Yeah.
Another friend of mine has colitis, ulcerative colitis. And she is doing celery juice, and she's getting better every day because she tells me her progress every day. And she's getting better every day.
But start slowly.
But you have to start slow.
Lanita, if you need help, send us a private message.
Exactly. Now, do we want to continue?
Yeah, we're going to continue.
Okay. Well, I'll have to get ready for work here.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But
okay, so guys, I'm considering making T-shirts. I don't know how many of you would be brave enough to wear a Heal Your Autism T-shirt. But
healing autism is controversial, but I don't care. If you don't like my message, don't come to my page. All right. Now
to wear it in public, I don't know if you guys would be comfortable with that. I'm going to make them because there's no overhead for me. It's a website that just does it and you order from them.
Exactly.
So if you guys are interested, we are in a crossroads. I'm looking for jobs. I've applied for several, and some of them are in another state.
Yes.
So we're between monies. So if anybody can buy our book, buy some coaching, buy some T-shirts,
exactly,
it would really, really help us.
We would definitely be grateful. And we appreciate you guys being here and being fans, because we're happy to help you guys. We want to see you get well.
Yeah, I'd like to make this my full-time gig.
Absolutely.
But we just don't have enough people.
Not right now, but we will. And the T-shirt is definitely worth it, because if you're fans, show your fans, right? And we appreciate you being fans. So a little more passion. Don't let anybody talk you out of healing. If they think you can't heal, then what you do is say, yeah, hold my beer. Right? It doesn't have to be beer. It can be wine. It can be whiskey. It can be anything.
Hold my
else.
celery juice.
Right? There you go. Hold my celery juice. Right? In fact, let me drink my celery juice, and you can have the glass.
Okay.
But
so Mark has to go to work. I forgot about that.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, we will be back here tomorrow.
We'll be back with the boring stuff.
No, we'll be back with some more passion. All right.
So continue on with the
celery juice, the heavy metal detox smoothie, the lemon water, and definitely go to www.healyourautism.com and
download the book
Buried Alive, One Man's Journey Out of Autism.
And that's the free one. Then the other one, where we teach you how to do it yourself,
is on the next page, and it's called Heal Your Autism's Do-It-Yourself Guide. Healing Begins in Your Kitchen. And it shows you step by step
exactly how to do it. Lenita, it would help you. I mean,
as one of our book reviewers said, it's like you guys read all the medical medium books and distilled it down into one with all the pertinent facts.
Yes,
that's exactly what she did.
And extremely structured. So for brains that aren't working really well, you can understand it.
Exactly.
And so that's at www.healyourautism.com/buy the book. Buy the book. B-U-Y the book. And then we have coaching, as always.
And I'm still going to be here. Every time I get rejected or shut down, that's just going to piss me off even more, just to make everybody uncomfortable who doesn't like it. All right? Thank you, Marlo, for being here. All right, bye.
Have a great day.
See y'all tomorrow.